Saturday, June 16th, 2018, here in Los Angeles. I'm John Knox, and I'm with Bob Levy. Now, Bob is one of the founders of Los Angeles SkyWatch, so I'm very, very lucky and honored to be able to interview you, because I've come to this organization because of you. So we just heard about the Chris Haskell story. I've actually known about it, but Bob basically got up to speed with it today. I gave my summation of it, and then Jamie Lee Skyped with our entire group today. What do you have, about 35 people?
Yeah, close to that.
Yeah. So you're just learning about this. What's your take on what's going on with Chris Haskell in Tucson?
Well, I don't know the man, but I do know that he's a human being who, like myself, is outraged about what's going up there. And I could have been doing what he's doing, putting signs up. We've been meeting here at the Unurban for 8 years. I've talked to hundreds of people over the years. Signs, yes, we've done tabling, but to have myself being arrested, to have myself being bitten by dogs, to have myself be incarcerated for 5 weeks, and this is, whether it be Tucson or Los Angeles, we do have certain inalienable rights, and one of them is, having an attorney and having being tried, hopefully, for due cause. It sounds as if the man was really frisked away and taken, and I'm appealing to all of us to do something to help this man, because I think he does represent every activist in this country right now. Because it doesn't have to be just the chemtrails; it can be anything that we have the right to speak up. And as you know, I like to read, and I've been reading about what happened in France in 1895. It sounds a long time ago. There was called the Alfred Dreyfus affair, where a man was literally accused of a crime that he didn't commit, was sent off to Shark Island, or to one of those islands, and for life term, and it took 7 years. But people like Émile Zola, the famous writer, Clemenceau, who later became Prime Minister of France. These men were journalists and writers who came to the aid of Dreyfus, knowing that he was accused of a wrong crime, and he was sent to prison for life. And they eventually freed him. There's been stories about him, and I would encourage the public to read about that. But I have a feeling that the Chris Haskell event is another form of the Dreyfus episode happening here in Los Angeles.
That's a great analogy, and it's actually very, very fitting, because I believe personally, since I've talked to Chris, I've been to Tucson, that he is being accused unfairly, just as Dreyfus was.
Yes. And then you have to follow the money. Why was Dreyfus accused? Whether he was a Jew, whether he was against a certain policy, why was he put away? And he was innocent, because he would have disgraced the military. And he was a captain. He would have disgraced the military. Haskell probably is embarrassing some of the authorities in Tucson.
Yes.
Embarrassing them, including David Keith and the chemtrails. It's an embarrassment. We need to put him away. It's much the same thing that's going on, even though it's 80 years later.
All right. Well, it's Saturday. I always have to look at my watch. Saturday, June 16th, 2018. I'm John Knox, standing here with Bob Levy, the founder of Los Angeles.
Paulette is here with Paulette.
Yes. He would hear about it this evening if I didn't say co-founder. And we're basically cultivating our common sense. We've got a horn in the background, but that's the nature of life, right? And what we're going to do is we're kicking off the Chris Haskell Dawn for Us tour right now, and we're going to do what we can to make sure Chris Haskell sees justice and stays free. I'm John Knox. Thanks. And Bob Levy, thank you to him. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Great job.